and Stu are on the air.
Ready? Right.
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks. Presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of week 3 of Drew and Stu. I'm your host, Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Once again, this show is brought to you by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino, featuring a brand new betting platform with even more ways to bet. Plus, Sports Interaction Casino, the best in market with live 24/7 dealers. Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook, bet local. Cam, a lot of changes you're going to make today. You've told me behind the scenes, but you got to let the viewers on a little. What are you feeling? Like, why are you making so many changes? Just like you woke up and just a new idea? What's up?
I don't know, Drew. You know me. I'm kind of a weirdo. Like, I just do different things. I'm just looking at lines going, why didn't they change? There's injury. It's similar to the Seattle game last week. I'm like, okay, so everybody thinks Detroit's going to roll these guys, but the line's gone down. It's like, it doesn't work all the time, but maybe I've trained my mind in today's betting world just to try to find weird stuff. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I outthink myself. That's another thing. Sometimes it's just a bad line is a bad line. And, you know, I talked to Gabe about that on our shows that we do, Drew. Like, sometimes, like, I do it more than he does. Like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, I guess. I just look and go, why are they hanging a line like that? And sometimes it works. Sometimes it didn't. It worked for me with Seattle, but other times I overthink it, right? So, but this week, there's a couple that I really think are bait lines, and I think there's some really bad teams in good positions to win. And that's the one thing we forget about the NFL. You could be a really bad team, but the point spread is a great equalizer. That's why it's out there. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not asking you to win the damn game. I'm just asking you to lose by not as many points as they predict. So that's why I'm changing a few, Drew. That's hey, man, you talked about this betting landscape, too. A lot more people are in it, props, this, that, the other. It's just a different world we're living in. And, like, I used to bet from the newspaper, Drew. I didn't tell you. Like, I used to, like, honestly, like, grab a newspaper at a Burger King and go, okay, I'll take the Atlanta Braves, Toronto Blue Jays, CFL, Hamilton.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
And we used to leave messages. We used to leave messages. Like, employee 93. Hey, employee 93. Like, we all had a number, and you'd leave it on, like, and then you'd play back the message. Washington State, Toronto Maple Leafs, Colorado Avalanche, and then you'd hear the message, you jot it down on paper, whatever. Like, people don't understand. Like, I'm not 80, but I feel like I'm from the Stone Ages. We used to literally bet from a newspaper, like, and we used to do it on cassettes and like play back and stuff. I actually preferred it that way. It was way better.
Well, that's the bookie. The bookies were all a lot nicer back then too, Cam.
Some. I used to meet one guy. He'd take me out for lunch and stuff, but he was kind of he's an interesting guy. Like, his marriage wasn't too like tight, so he'd go get lap dances and like, just go, hey, Cam, have lunch and stuff like that. We'd meet at like a sleazy joint. But other guys, like I met a guy with a prosthetic leg who drove a Fiero. He was kind of crazy. He's like, meet me on Lakeshore. I'm like, Lakeshore's like, just find Lakeshore. I'm like, Lakeshore's like the biggest street in like the province. But anyway, I'm hiding behind bushes at an Esso station. I met a guy with Ninja Stars and Numchuck. Let's just say this, Drew. I've met some of the nicest people as bookmakers and some of the scariest over my time.
Hang on. So you had a bookie with a prosthetic leg that was yelling at you and another bookie with Ninja Stars?
Yeah, one guy was into martial arts. This is right when I first started, like 30 years ago or whatever. Like, I'm not going to get.
We got to make a sitcom of like.
I don't know. We will. Like, I don't want to like get in trouble. Like, we have sponsors of the show. I'm just saying, no guy from one of these companies like FanDuel, Sports Interaction, like all these guys, like Sports Interaction doesn't have goons that like knock, who's their hired goons? You owe me money. Because back then, credit was credit. Like, there was no account. You basically bet, and he goes, you owe me this at the end of the week, or you go. Let's meet at this at the end of the month. You'd set up your parameters with the guy, and you'd literally exchange envelopes and go out for lunch. That's the way it used to be.
I just picture you like
from a paper.
I picture you like, sorry, I don't have the $100 today, and the guy just throwing a Ninja Star at your leg or something.
No. I remember one time I owed this guy money, and anyway, it's a long story. I don't know if you want to do it this episode.
Keep it PG, yeah.
Okay, well, no, we should save this material because we got a long season, and I kind of want to tell things later. But anyway, I owed money, and I went into this guy's drawer, like whatever. He's like, go grab this. And I looked, and there was like nunchucks, Ninja Stars, loose $100 and $50 bills. And I'm like, oh. So I won $12,000 on a parlay. The guy I lived with, I didn't know he was shady. I just moved back from like Yellowknife or whatever. We won this bet together. We were wasted, eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, watching basketball and hockey. We hit this parlay. It was out of the world. Next thing you know, because I used to work, at Sportsnet, whatever. I worked the overnight shift. This guy's gone for a few days. He never came back. Like he never came back. He had access.
He just bailed.
Yeah. And I was left on the hook. He didn't tell me with Ninja Stars. So, but Ninja Stars was nice to me. He goes, listen, it's your responsibility to know what's going on, but you also got screwed. So we'll work this out. He actually cut me a little bit of a deal. And see, not all guys are bad, even when they have weaponry in their cutlery drawer. Anyway, it's all good, Drew. I'll tell you more stories. I know a lot of us in this business, me and the older guys, we can write books about this stuff, but it's a safer world we live in, guys. Like nobody from Sports Interaction, like Chris Pronger's not going to dress up in his suit and come at you and say, hey, man, where's the money? You bet. You have to have money to bet. What?
Yeah.
Knock,
so just hits you from behind on the man. Okay.
Sorry,
well, yeah. There you go.
I hope that's okay, Drew. I don't want to get you in any trouble, but I like to keep things real.
Warning for the audience: don't screw with anyone with Ninja Stars. Cam has experience.
Just deal with the sports book and don't deal on. If I can give anybody one tip that you'll listen to, and my picks might suck one week and they're good the next. Don't bet on credit. That's all you need to know.
100%. Cam, here are your picks from Tuesday's show. I'm going to bring them up on the full screen board. The audience was asking for them, so
here they are.
They're like,
more
we
stories,
want to see Cam's
picks.
In case he's like getting his record wrong or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. So you got Giants 10.5, Chargers, Saints, Texans, Browns, Ravens.
Can you put them on
Dolphins,
the board, or can I look
Jets.
at the Chiron, or no?
You can't see the Chiron because I'm putting it on in post. Cam.
I
sent you the email, so
you
have
see
it.
the Chiron, and I sit there staring into a screen like an idiot.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Sounds good.
Commanders, Lions, Panthers, Cowboys, Bears, Steelers, Eagles, and Bengals. Your gold pick was the Cincinnati Bengals -1.5. Your bronze was the Detroit Lions -3.
My gold pick was not the Cincinnati Bengals 1.5. My gold pick was the Chargers.
Where are you going with your gold?
I don't know what to do, buddy. It's so hard. You know what? Give me Cincinnati right now at -2. I have the Bears.
Your silver was the Chargers.
No,
I have it here.
No. My picks were the Bears, Chargers, and Lions. Those were my picks. I have them written down. You're wrong.
Oh, you're right. It was the Bears.
Listeners, are you listening to this guy? Yeah, you're questioning my record? Look at this man. Let's go into his background and find out what Drew's done. Jeez.
Yeah.
He's a rec league killer. He's beating up people in rec league hockey games. Anyway, I love it.
Yeah, fair. Okay, Cam. So what picks? What's your first switch? The full screen board.
See, Drew, we're here for the entertainment, right? I know 100%. My jokes, whatever, like the picks might not be perfect, guys, but at least we'll try to make you laugh or try to make you angry. Either or. Denver. It's a hold your nose pick, and it's very similar to the Seattle Seahawks last week. It's a bait line, in my opinion. I have a lot of people, as I say, I respect in the game. They don't look at the way things I do, and sometimes I wish I was more like them because I overthink things. But Denver's been scoring points. They get some guys back. And I'm going to say this about Miami. They're beat up. And Denver's in a good spot right now. They're getting 6.5 points. They could have made that line 7 and still got Miami money. I'm taking Denver. I'm switching the pick. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But remember, I stayed on Seattle with that crazy game against Detroit, and it feels very similar to that game. And we'll see this theory. I could be wrong this week, or I could be right. But switch Miami to Denver, please.
All right, Cam, you don't even have to take the 6.5 because the line was 7 when we bet it, so you get plus 7.
That's another thing. Take a look at the early lines, Drew. I'm going to go on things that we're getting better lines. That's another thing.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Like
the line switch at game time. So, but you got Broncos +7. I like the switch, Cam. I'm only making one switch, and it's from the Carolina Panthers to your Seattle Seahawks. Something about this game smells fishy to me. It's a trap, I know, but I just look at these teams, and Seattle is better in every single position. The line's finally moving towards Seattle. It's now 6. It was 5.5 when we picked it. But I will take the Seattle Seahawks, Cam. I think they're going to slaughter the Carolina Panthers. I can't see Bryce Young keeping up. They didn't have a touchdown, Cam, until garbage time.
Andy Dalton might play, right?
I doubt it.
I prefer Andy. I'm going to tell you something. I know everyone, it's kick a ginger day everywhere all the time. But the thing about Andy Dalton is he's actually a guy that's been in the league before. No,
Cam, you love backup quarterbacks.
See, like, when I do Pat Mayo's show, him and Pizzola, like, no. The funny thing is, some backup quarterbacks are better than the starters. Or do you not
100%.
agree with me? Thank you.
No,
100%. I'm just saying, Bryce Young he's going to be way better. But what I'm trying to say is, the guy's been in the league for years, and he can read defenses and figure things out more.
No,
you're saying
it's better for Carolina.
He's not as good of an athlete. But he's seen everything and done everything. Let's remember something about Andy Dalton, people. You want to rip this guy's ass? He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league with Cincinnati. I'm an older guy. I remember. Andy Dalton was a very serviceable quarterback. I don't want to get in this debate anymore. These guys are always coming at me about backup quarterbacks. I'm just saying, Bryce Young will obviously be better. But at this point in his career, a couple games into his rookie season, Andy Dalton can run that offense more. That's all I'm saying. Be careful.
Yeah, if Dalton's in, maybe I change my mind, but I'm going to go with Seahawks still
Fair
anyway. What is your second switch, Cam? Do you have a second switch?
Yes, I do. Let me just look at my phone because I don't do anything easily, Drew. Indy. I want Indy. Oh, I'm going with my backup quarterback theme, everybody. Why not? Gardner Minshew. Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah, you like backup quarterbacks? Yeah, I'll take the points with Indy. No, the thing is, Baltimore's pretty banged up, Drew. And what's that line I'm getting? I'm getting a better line than it was before. Like, what's my original line?
It was 6. Or sorry, 8.
This guy. Oh my God, this guy. Hold on, I gotta check my email. Make sure you're not.
No, it's 8. You had Baltimore -8, so you got Colts +8 now.
You are correct on this one. You're actually. I'm looking at the board. See, now I could double check your work since you sent me the email. Excellent. I will take Indianapolis +8 as my switch. I think Baltimore wins the game by like a field goal. Not easy for them. As you see, Drew, I'm changing a lot of favorites to dogs.
Cam, the only thing I'm worried about is the Ravens had the same pretty much injuries last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, who I think are better. So that's
Cincinnati but Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's playing hurt, and they're not the same team right now. Anyway. The Colts have been competitive. I'm just going to take the points, and you know what, Drew? I might regret this one, but I'm doing it.
We'll see. Okay, well, I have no more switches besides the Seahawks. Do you have another game you're changing, Cam?
I'm thinking, do I have Tampa Bay or Philly? Give me Tampa Bay +5.5 against Philly too.
Oh, so you're switching to all the dogs. I like it.
The thing about Philadelphia is something's not right with Hurts. I watched a lot of tapes again. I taped some of these games and watched them kind of like an old guy. No, I don't have VHS.
Their O-line is not as good as it was last year.
That's a great point, Drew. That's another really good point by you. I'm going to take that. And you know what? Do you have Buffalo?
I have Buffalo. You had Washington.
Give me Buffalo -6.5 instead of Washington. Those are my 4 switches. I think Washington's going to be a public dog. This could be like an absolute like suicide mission, or I could really improve things tonight. This is why it's fun to do the second show, right, Drew?
Yeah.
Let's tell the people. We make these bets literally Monday, Tuesday, like start of the week. Things change. Injuries change. We don't even know. Do we know if Joe Burrow's starting yet by the time of taping? We don't. We don't know.
So you're taking Chicago as your gold, Detroit as your bronze, and...
No, I'm taking Chargers as my gold, Chicago as my silver, and Lions as my bronze, but I want to change it. I don't really trust it, but anyway, I'm not going to, I've done enough changes.
You can change your gold pick, Cam. Go for it. Chicago is your silver.
I almost want to put Denver as my bronze, but I'll leave Detroit. Well, you know what? If Detroit loses to Atlanta or doesn't cover, they don't win by 3 or more, then I'm going to do a lot of different things next week, Drew.
Let's see if you continue to trust these Lions, Cam. Okay, well, my gold was the Titans. I'm not switching off that. My bronze was the Cowboys, not switching. And my silver was... What was my silver? The Charge? Nope, that was you. My silver was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cam, I have the paper in front of me. It's just all over the place. My writing's chicken scratch.
I gotta be honest with you, dude, it's like we're like 2 meatballs. They're just yes, okay. We don't remember the picks. We're getting the minerals wrong. Drew, that's why I love working with you. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, everyone tunes in for the fun, not for just the picks. Cam.
I watch these other shows. Everybody's so damn serious.
You're too serious.
Why so serious?
The Chargers -3 because
the
offensive line and
blah blah blah, percentage passing, blah blah blah. Yeah, no one cares. All right, Cam, let's get into some player props that you got. I know you love the anytime touchdown market, so
I do.
Hit us with your first anytime TD for the weekend.
Actually, I want to do things differently since we do 2 tapings, and I hope we can have some fun with this stuff. I'm going to do a 2 touchdown anytime touchdown parlay.
I like it.
With Austin Eckler and Pollard.
Is Eckler going to play?
If he does, if he's not, it's a void bet. But just if he plays, I don't care if he's banged up. They're going to give him the ball. They need Eckler. He will play. Plus 165. Eckler and Pollard anytime touchdown parlayed plus 165 is one of my props. Also, 2 picks with the Chargers. This is a market, guys, that I love that people don't talk about enough. The winning margin market. Chargers to win by 1 to 6 is plus 320. Yes, half a unit. Then Chargers to win by 7 to 12 is plus 500, 5 to 1. They win between 1 and 12. I don't think they're going to beat Minnesota by 13 or more. If they do, fine, because I bet on them anyway. But that's the way I'm splitting up that bet. You think that's smart, Drew? It's kind of actually not a bad play.
I mean, I like the Vikings to win the game, Cam. So
But if you
I
like
don't love it.
if you like the Chargers,
No,
it
I
would
like what
be
you're saying.
yeah.
If you like the Chargers, they're not blowing the Vikings out. You're right.
Thank you.
Watch, here comes a 47-20 win or something like
Yep.
that. But I
You
don't think
said it.
so. I hope Eckler plays because I have him in a bunch of fantasy leagues, Cam. So fingers crossed that you're right on that, Mark. My first prop type is for tonight on the Thursday nighter because we're playing in front of the Thursday nighter for once on Thursday's show. Matt Breida over 12.5 receiving yards, Cam.
Love it, Drew. Great
I think
pick.
San Fran's going to be all over Daniel Jones. He's going to be checking it down all night, even in garbage time. I think 12.5 receiving yards is an easy over for Matt Breida. If it was Saquon, it'd be a lock.
I'm going to tell you another thing, Drew. Let's get on this one together. But this line's going up by 5 yards by after we're done taping. Daniel Jones over rushing. He's going to be running for his life tonight.
Yeah,
I like Breida and Jones. I bet both of them. What's Jones now? I got a lower number, but can you tell me the updated number? I got it like when it was just came out. It's like literally people are betting it and scaring me a bit. Daniel Jones rushing yards.
Daniel Jones rush attempts is 7.5. His rushing yards. I don't
yards.
see. I know. I'm looking, Cam. I'm looking. Rushing yards.
Anyway, wow, man, we got to really.
Daniel Jones rushing yards 38.5.
Yeah, I think it was like 34, whatever. Over. I'll take it at 38.5, please. I think he's going to bust one tonight.
I do. I like it. That's a lot of yards, Cam, against that San Fran defense. But we saw Matt Stafford and Kyron Williams absolutely shred them last week. So, I mean, what do you think about all the receivers tonight? We got a bunch of 40-yard props and 30-yard props on Isaiah Hodgins, Jalen Hyatt, all these guys for the Giants. Like, you think?
So, who do you take with the Giants? People are going to think Waller or.
I'm taking just Breida. That's the only one I trust.
No,
I think they're.
You're right.
Okay,
That's
good.
smart. No, Drew, I'm going to be honest with you. That's a really smart play because Breida's one of those guys too. He doesn't get enough steam to like he's more of a sometimes he's a fullback, but he gets those little hitch passes, whatever. He breaks one of those, you'll be all right. What's his receptions prop too? Let's go receptions over and yards over with Breida.
Matt Breida receptions
3.5,
2.5,
over.
2.5.
He'll have 3 catches tonight or more. Sign me up.
Well, there
too.
you go. Parlay those together, you're probably plus 180. So that's a decent win.
One step at a time. Let's just
I'm just saying, if he's going to get 12.5 yards, he probably gets 3 catches. It's whatever. My other prop, Cam, is Josh Allen over 255 yards passing and 1.5 touchdowns. Parlays plus 180. 255 yards is too low for him. We saw him last week, even with all the checkdowns, he still hit 280 and 1.5 TDs. As long as they're going to still give me Allen 1.5 touchdowns until it goes up to 2.5 where it should be, I'm going to keep taking it every week, Cam, because 1.5 is too low for premier quarterbacks. Another one I have.
I'll give you credit, Drew. You talked about it last week, and I was thinking, maybe they blow these guys out in garbage time, and he still got way over his numbers. So I agree with that. I think Allen might throw for 300 plus.
Well, that would be amazing. My other one, Cam, that you'll love, Keenan Allen over 73.5 receiving yards. I don't think the Vikings defense is any good. I think Keenan Allen is Herbert's favorite target. We've seen the first 2 weeks of the season, so I think 73.5 yards is way too low for Keenan Allen.
I think your props are amazing. I'm actually I do the anytime touchdown market and the winning margin, but you've been great with those, Drew. I'm going to throw another one at you that I think is kind of under the radar, and it pays really, really well. I've been watching the Saints, and they have running back problems, but they've been using Taysom Hill again. Taysom Hill, anytime touchdown, plus 250. Have you noticed he's been a bigger part of the offense now? And I think at the goal line, they're going to have some trick plays and stuff for him. I think it's worth a sprinkle. It's plus 250, too. That's really good for anytime touchdown. First touchdown pays like 12-1 or 14-1 or something like that. But I will take anytime touchdown, Taysom Hill, plus 250. I think that's a great price.
I like that, Cam, because Tony Jones is going to be their starter. Maybe Kendre Miller if he gets in, but it's going to be Taysom Hill in the red zone because, I mean, without Jamal Williams, you don't – yeah, exactly. And Taysom can break one easily. He can go 40 yards to the house in one play. My issue is whenever he's in the game, I'm like, they know you're running the football. Like every time. Like
I know.
I just want to see Taysom Hill throw a bomb. Like every now and then, throw a bomb. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. That's actually a great point about the Saints. Like, do more like end arounds where he steps back and just finds like Michael Thomas or Olave deep. Like
exactly.
Just, like come up. That's the problem with the Saints, I find too. I hate to say it. Dennis Allen, I don't think is a very good coach. Actually, I think he's one of the worst coaches in the league. With the guys,
a very talented football team that should be doing better.
That's the thing. I think all of their coordinators too. There's a problem there. I think they should be doing a lot better. They have a lot of bad. When you watch a Saints game, you question their play calling a lot.
Cam, another prop I have, which I don't think I've ever seen in the history of this guy playing in the NFL. I've never seen his prop this low. Derrick Henry over 71 rushing yards. I know it's the Cleveland Browns defensive line, but this is Derrick friggin' Henry, Cam. 71 yards. He can get this in his sleep. I don't care who he's facing.
It's very low. For Tennessee to be successful, this is the thing about this game, and I think it's very similar to the Atlanta-Detroit game. I think it's essential that Tennessee gets in the game early. Like, I don't want to see, like, Cleveland can't get like a pick six and Tannehill with a fumble, because I think they have to establish Henry and wear Cleveland down to be successful in the game, right, Drew? Like, thinking Cleveland's one of those teams, like, they're very good, so you have to, like, almost like Tennessee needs to turn this into like a jail fight, like a prison fight, and they need Henry at the end of the game just to start battering guys to end the game. If they go down and Tannehill has to throw, that could be an issue for the Titans.
Did you see Deshaun Watson's burner account that he made after the Browns lost to the Steelers on Monday night?
I don't know what these guys do, like Kevin Durant and Deshaun. Like, guys, you're professional athletes. Like, just
every comment about Deshaun Watson that was negative. All the reply was the same account. He was like, "Well, Watson had no O-line blocking for him. Well, Watson didn't have a line. No, you got to help him out and block for the guy. It's not his fault." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is embarrassing."
Wow, this guy needs help. Like, honestly, like, when I see stuff like that from athletes, it's like, get thicker skin. Like, if you have a burner account, I question you. Like, don't do that.
I feel like, I don't know. Deshaun Watson.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
As a Clemson guy, it's making me sad to see how poor he's playing, Cam. Like, I've never seen a quarterback get back-to-back face mask penalties in my life, and he did that in, like, the same drive. He got 2 of them, and he's throwing picks. It just looks bad.
Drew waits for no one. Russell Wilson.
He's not even old.
I know, but he hasn't played the game, and he just doesn't look like he's just not the same guy. He is not the athlete. Like, when he came out of Clemson and he was on fire, like, he used to bust runs. He used to
threw 5,000 yards one year.
Yes. Like, now he's just kind of like out there skipping balls in. He'll make a play or two once in a while, but you're right.
Once again, this episode is brought to you by Sports Interaction. Head on over to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN for the latest bets. Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Bet local. Download the app or go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Again, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Cam, you got more props for us. Let's
just got a text from Steve. You're fired. Okay. Been a pleasure. Actually, no, Drew, you know me. I didn't mean any light of the situation. I was just saying.
No. I know.
Sometimes when you do bad things in life, maybe there's some kind of karma, even though bad people live forever and good people die young anyway. We're not going to have this discussion. This is a football betting show. Let's go to Moneyline winning parlay. Buffalo, San Francisco, Jacksonville, Dallas plus 121. Moneyline parlay.
Now, if you had to guess which team's going to blow that parlay, who would it be?
Buffalo.
Ooh, I was going to say maybe San Fran. Maybe San Fran gets upset tonight.
You think they're losing the Giants outright? Holy
I don't think they will, but I'm saying if any team's going to blow it, it'll be a Kyle Shanahan in primetime.
And out of these props, I got to ask you one more thing. Which ones do you like? Detroit Gibbs, because isn't Montgomery a little bit banged up? Touchdown plus 105.
Yeah, he's not going to play, I don't think.
Okay, that's fine. That's gone. What about your Buffalo Bills and Cook for a touchdown plus 140? I think they're actually going to get.
He doesn't play in the red zone, Cam. It's Latavius Murray's zone down there.
How about Diggs at plus 110 against the Commanders? Can that work?
I like that.
Thank you. I'll put that one in. That's jeez, Drew.
I was saying James Cook anytime TD, Cam. He doesn't get red zone carries. It's a bad bet. He needs to break a long one.
Diggs plus 110.
Yeah, I like Diggs.
End of discussion.
Diggs. Okay, that's it. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for week 3. Once again, we will see you next week. The picks were on the full screen for everyone who's complaining in the comments, so you can see them. Keep us truthful. We'll bring them back up on the show at the beginning of next week to show you what our picks were and why we were 4-12. And you can stop yelling at us. Just fade us if you don't like our picks.
Exactly.
Anyways, thank you for joining us. Once again, the show is brought to you by Sports Interaction. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, please download the audio podcast on all platforms, rate and review, and we will see you next week.
This has been Drew and Stu, presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.